So you got access to Copilot at work, but not really sure how to use it in Excel? Today, let's understand how to use Copilot in Excel to work smarter and better. Hi, my name is Chandoo and my mission is to make you awesome at your work. I have been using Excel for more than 20 years, but by far Copilot is one of those key changes to happen to Excel. So today let's get deeper into Copilot and cover the 5 main pillars of it. These are: what is Copilot and where to find it, what do you need, the prerequisites for using Copilot, 3 practical scenarios of using Copilot in Excel, and my secret cheat sheet for prompting with Copilot in Excel, and what Copilot cannot do. Copilot is an AI assistant built into Microsoft Excel 365. You can also find it in Word, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook, and pretty much all other Microsoft products these days. Copilot is the general name Microsoft is using for many of their AI offerings, so you might be confused between Copilot in Excel versus Copilot in their browser, Edge, or Copilot on the web. But no matter where you use it, all of these copilots will help you get things done better and faster by using artificial intelligence and large language models. When it comes to Excel, if you have access to Copilot, you are going to find it here in the home ribbon as a Copilot button. Not only that, depending on which version of Excel you are using, you might even have additional prompts or experiences built into Excel. So for example, if you select a bunch of cells and right click, you will see that there is a Copilot option in the right click menu in Excel right now, using which if there is some data in those cells, you can do some Copilot based operations. As there is nothing in this file, first let's load up some data and then use it with Copilot. Let's say you work as a project manager and you are responsible for a bunch of projects that are listed here. Now looking at this, you would like to do some analysis, maybe find out which projects are at risk or other kinds of things. We can use Copilot to get all of these tasks done. To invoke Copilot, you can click on the Copilot icon right here. But before we use that, there are some prerequisites that must be met. So I'm going to show you what happens if those prerequisites are not met. It's going to give you a warning. So the number one prerequisite for using Copilot in Excel is your file needs to be saved in a cloud platform. So this could be either OneDrive or SharePoint currently. So let's go ahead and save this in my SharePoint. Once the file is saved either on SharePoint or OneDrive, you will have access to the Copilot panel here. Once you click the button, all of these things will appear. Like I said earlier, Copilot is an artificial intelligence assistant built into Excel. So we can use it to ask questions about our data or in general about anything that is related to Excel. So for example, right now it is telling me, here is an example prompt, what are the 15 intermediate level shortcuts? So let's say I'm in the mood to learn a little bit of Excel, I can click on that and it's going to list some shortcuts. But for now, let's focus on the projects that we are looking at. I want to know which projects are at risk. So I'm going to write a prompt. A prompt is nothing but a set of instructions that you are giving to the AI so that it can do the work for you. When you are writing the prompts, don't think of these like the search queries that we put into Google or Bing. Instead, write them as if you are emailing or messaging a colleague who is capable of doing this work. So here I am assuming Copilot is a person and I'm just talking to it. So I'm saying, can you highlight all the projects that are at risk? Copilot is going to come back with a response. In this case, it is saying text contains at risk, apply the following conditional format. So it wants to highlight all of those at risk projects in yellow color. Once I'm ready, if I tap on this apply button, it's going to highlight those projects. You can now see that all of these projects are highlighted. But let's say I don't want to highlight this column alone. I want to highlight the entire row itself. I can add a further prompt. So we are now asking, can you highlight the entire row, not just the status column, and also make it red color. So at this point it is coming back with a further conditional formatting rule, $F4 is equal to at risk, and you can click on apply and that's going to do that job for you. So here we can see that Copilot is actually helping us identify at-risk projects and immediately eyeball them and maybe do some further analysis. Let's say you're not even familiar with what's going on behind the scenes. You can ask questions about, hey, can you explain what this conditional formatting is doing or how it works? What if I want to do something else? How would I change that? Or where do I find information about it on the screen? And Copilot should be able to give you that guidance. While Copilot seems like an amazing thing, it still can't like videos. So if you're enjoying the video so far, give it a like. It really helps me. Now let's continue. Let's go a little bit deeper into these at-risk projects and ask another question like, who are the project owners whose projects are at risk? And when you have such a big question for Copilot, instead of typing it, you can also dictate the question to Copilot using this microphone icon here. You can tap on it and you can speak to Copilot using your mic. As I'm currently recording this video, I won't be able to speak to it. So instead, I'm going to just type it. So this is going to do analysis. In this case, what Copilot did is it actually made a pivot table to count how many at-risk projects are there per each owner. And then it find out that David has the most projects at risk with a total of 6 projects. Then what we could do is, you can see that at every prompt, Copilot gives you further prompt suggestions. So for example, here 3 more suggestions are there. Get deeper analysis results using Python. This requires having Python in Excel enabled, or which owners have fewer projects at risk, or list the top 3 owners with the most delayed projects, or other kinds of things. But let's say we want to email David and give him this information and set up a follow-up call or something. We can even ask Copilot right inside Excel and say, can you draft an email to David about this? This is going to create a template email for you. And hey, David, I hope this email finds you well, blah, blah, blah. You can then copy this and paste it into Outlook and further refine it using Copilot inside Outlook, or you can paste it in Teams and communicate with David like that. How awesome is this? Now let me show you 2 more scenarios of Copilot with different kinds of data so that you can understand how to use it for your work. So here I have got sales performance information for the month of April, kind of like a sales report, and we want to use this information and do some analysis, make some charts or reports from this. For this kind of a thing, it's better to start a new chat session with Copilot rather than continuing the project discussion. So I'm going to go all the way to the top of this Copilot area, and from here click on the chat history button and use the new chat to initiate a new discussion with Copilot. I'm going to ask Copilot, how do I present this data? So Copilot is going to do its own analysis, and here it says I analyzed the data between B3 to G33 and here is what I found. Sum of revenue by each region. And let's say I like this. I want this graph to be part of my upcoming meeting or presentation. I can add this and instantly I'll get the connected pivot table and the graph as well. So from here we can do some further discussions, but let's go back to the data and let's see what else can we add here. Let us say we want to add a column that tells us what is the revenue per unit. You can just type a prompt that says add a revenue per unit column, and that's going to do that for us. As of May 2025, all the prompts that you put into Copilot usually return with some additional statements, but you would need to click on the insert or add buttons in order to see the actual thing happen on the sheet. So we had earlier used that button to add the conditional formatting, insert the chart. Right now I'm going to click on this insert column to see the calculated column added. So here is the column. You can see that everything is kind of divided. Surprisingly, all of them have just $10 per revenue per unit. For our next analysis, I'm going to ask a more pointed question like, who are the top 2 salespersons by total revenue in North region? While I was expecting 2 people, Copilot actually came up with just Alice. So there's no second person. This kind of brings us back to how to prompt Copilot and other AI tools. Think of them as a colleague, but kind of like not 100% smart. They're capable, they have a lot of knowledge, but they also need a little bit of hand holding from time to time. So let's see if Copilot can help us by giving the top 2 people, not just Alice alone. So here is a further follow-up prompt. I need top 2 people, not just top 1. That looks strange, isn't it? Even when we wanted the top 2 people, it still comes back and says Alice. Maybe there is not many people operating in North Zone. So I want to first filter the data. And once you hit this apply button, you can see that there is only one person operating in the northern region, Alice, and that's why there is no top 2 people, just Alice information. If you have other kinds of data, you can use it and you will probably see the top 2 or top 5 people as per the prompt. For our third scenario, I've got some customer feedback and you can see that there is actually a lot of text feedback. And I want to ask Copilot to analyze this feedback and tell us the sentiment of our customers. So we are again going to start a new chat. For this, you want to go all the way back up and click on chat history and initiate new chat. So I'm asking, analyze the customer feedback and tell me the sentiment. This is going to come up with usually a 3-scale sentiment: positive, neutral, and negative, and it kind of summarizes the information. Many reviews express strong satisfaction with products like almond choco, mint chip choco, etc., and negative sentiment as well. And now that the summary is there, maybe we would like to add a column with the sentiment. So here is the suggestion that Copilot came up with, and you can see that it refers to column D, which contains my rating column. I want the sentiment to depend on the feedback column, so I'm gonna revise my prompt. Now here is a better result. It has done a sentiment analysis based on the feedback text, and this is a formula that Copilot is suggesting. Let's insert it, and then again we are gonna ask Copilot to explain this formula for us. So here is the formula, and what Copilot has done is it has defined 2 lists of words, positive words and negative words, and it is checking whether the positive word or negative word is present in the sentence, and if so, it is basically flagging that as positive or negative, and if neither, then it is a neutral sentiment, which makes good sense in terms of this kind of analysis. But let's just say you are not familiar with any of these functions. You can now ask Copilot more questions. So here is another prompt, and this also brings us to the next point that I want to make, which is how to prompt. So here I'm asking Copilot, I've never used let function before. Can you tell me how this works? I like a conversational tone, as if 2 friends are discussing let over a cup of coffee. Please explain like that. And this is going to come back with a nice write-up about the let function with all of that. Now here is something that I really enjoy when working with AI tools like Copilot. Many times there is an option to read out the response because we are kind of too lazy or between too many things to read a whole bunch of text. So I use this read out aloud functionality.
Sure, let's chat about let like we're sipping coffee together. So, let is like a way to make your formulas smarter and more efficient. Imagine you're working on a project and you keep using the same calculation or value over and over again. Instead of typing it repeatedly, let lets you define it once, give it a name, and reuse it throughout the formula.
So as you can see, this kind of changes the narrative and lets you understand, excuse the pun, how the let function really works. Here are a few more ways to prompt when you're working with Copilot as well as ChatGPT and other AI tools. Talk to them instead of using that kind of a search mindset. And be aware that they can make mistakes. In fact, every response that Copilot generates, usually there is a label that says AI generated content may be inaccurate. So they are aware, and you should be aware about this as well. So do not blindly rely on the AI outputs. Instead, talk to them. Make sure that whatever it is saying is aligning with your view and your understanding of the world, and have a two-way conversation so that you can enhance your skills. And don't forget that anything that you don't understand, anything that is not clear, you can always have a follow-up discussion without having to spell out what happened so far. As you can see from many of our prompts, we are not saying what happened so far again and again. Instead, we are just kind of like continuing the conversation. So these are some cool and simple ways to improve your prompting skills. Another thing that works really well, not just with Copilot, but also with ChatGPT is they now have a long memory. That means if you talk about something today, tomorrow or 1 week later, you go and talk about something else altogether, they remember these two things. So you can capitalize on that idea and then you can kind of build a conversation that lasts multiple weeks. For example, I talk to ChatGPT and Copilot quite a lot, and over a period of time, I have built a big memory with them. So now when I ask a question, I don't have to spell out everything. I can just say, hey, can we pick up this? And the AI engine is ready to go. While all of this is exciting, there are many things that Copilot cannot do yet as far as Excel is concerned. It cannot do a lot of operations like changing the structure of the data. So for example, if I have got this data and I want Copilot to convert this into a table, it wouldn't do that. It will simply tell me how to make it a table, and the job is for us to make the table. Likewise, Copilot is not able to make certain types of charts. It is not able to trigger VBA and other kinds of things as well. Hopefully, those things will change as AI evolves and Microsoft adds new features into Copilot, but for now, that is a limitation. Another big limitation of Copilot is you do need the files to be on SharePoint or OneDrive with autosave enabled. So you can't really have the file on your computer and use it. So now that you know how to use Copilot in Excel, here are the next 2 steps for you. Step number 1, take some of your data and use it with Copilot. Have a play, ask different questions and see what is possible and what is not possible. This is a great way to not only learn how to use Copilot, but also how to use Excel. The second step for you is you may want to learn a little bit more about prompting, how to use Copilot for various things inside Excel, how it works for various kinds of domains and situations. If so, I've got a detailed Copilot for Excel course coming up. Please check the video description and sign up for that. I hope to help you out there. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you really enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it with some of your friends. I'll catch you out there. Bye.